Hello everyone. The purpose of this video is to describe how we can add a new field into our admin and then show the content of that new field on the front end. I'm using Gatsby with Netlify, and if you want to use the same template, I have modified mine, but you can get the starter template from this URL. I will post this URL in the description below, so you can grab it and use it. So let's get started and putting our new field into our admin. So the first thing you have to do is add the field in the back end of your Netlify website. So your website may be live on somewhere in the on a Netlify URL, or you might be using your own uh, domain name. So you access it through that. But if you are doing local development, you have to use this. So first of all, you have to clone the repository and then npm install, and then when you run npm uh, start, you will see that uh, you are able to edit the content of your live website locally. So first thing I have to do is I will go ahead and create a new field. So inside your the folders that you get in your repository, you will have a static folder inside it. In the static folder, there is an admin folder. Go to that and config.yml. So the config.yml is actually responsible for showing as many fields as you want. So if you want, for example, look at it. If you want to add a new field into our admin, you can see that the title field, the description field, service heading field. So everything is set up in the YML text format, and you can come in and let's try to create another field, which we call it service description. So let me tell you first the problem, what the problem is. So the problem is I want to add a new field, and right now I'm using the content of this field, which is description field in our admin. I want to create a new field that says service description, so I don't have to use this variable to spit out the content. So if you notice, this same data is showing here. I want to create a new field for this one. So I will go to the config.yml file. I will say services description, and I will name it services description. The field type is string. We need it as string, so it's okay. So I will save this. Prettier has beautified the code for me. Now I have to restart my node service so that this config.yml file takes place, shows up. So let's check. I restart the service, and once it is running, I will pause the video until it is running. Okay, it is running again. Let's refresh the admin. So we have our services description field ready, and I added this content into the MD file of this home page, so it is showing there. For you, it will be empty. So let's go ahead and show that content into our front end. So uh, the field is useless until we do some homework on our front end part and make this field available in our front end. And that can be done by going to our graph, our component, the home page component, which is again using home page template component, which is here, this one. So the first thing you have to do is you created the field. Second part is you go ahead into our GraphQL and copy the name of that field in our GraphQL. Let's refer to that field in our GraphQL query. Next, we have to go ahead and so the value that comes from GraphQL query is coming, and we are saving it into our page query. And the the data that comes from our GraphQL is stored into a data field, which we are passing into our home page, and then we are grabbing front matter from this data field, which gives us a JSON object of whatever content is available in our is returned by our query. So we have to pass in that value into our component. So the component is so this is the parent component, and inside that parent component we are passing that using another component, which is home page template, and we passed that value which is coming from GraphQL query and passing it inside that component. Now we will go ahead into that component and check how can we use the value. It's just a property, a prop into that component. And here in this page, this is our component, the home page template component. We have passed in our value. We will we are using prop types to validate the integrity of the field, so that so that our data types are correct. So we defined it as a string in the config.yml file. We would use it as a string. Service description is a string. Now home page template is being passed some values into the component that are coming from our parent component. Here I will create a new variable. So service description. Now look at this. Our code editor is telling us that it is not being referenced. It's declared, but value is never read. So let's go ahead and use this value into our component. So here in the description, we were using this description, which is the same field as this. So we will change that and use instead of that services description. Now let me save this field and see if we have our content visible on our front end or not. Okay, so our content is not visible right here still because we have to put some content. Let's see. Let's add test 2. Okay, saving your admin fields takes a little while, and it takes a few steps before it is visible on the front end. So right now it is not visible. Let's go and make it ready. We saved it. We will have to make it ready. Then we will publish. This will go and get saved into our repository. Now when I press publish and commit the change, so you see that when I posted my data of this new field and pulled or pushed into the same repository, it my GitHub said that there is some new changes from the remote repository. So I will pull and push. I first pulled my changes, and then I will push. I pulled the changes from the remote server, and then I pushed my changes. Now, if we go and refresh, we should see our content. Okay, the field is not saved in our home page somehow, in our homepage.js. So I saved the file again and I will push again. And you see that our field is showing there. So the changes we made were correct. I just did not save the homepage.js. Now we have our content correctly displaying on the front end. What we need to do next is we have to make sure that the preview templates are also being updated when we update the content. So if you notice our services, this field is updating, but the new field that we added is not updating. So I have to do something else, which is adding the field, going to that preview component. So in our we have CMS preview templates folder in our repository. If we go to CMS and preview templates, you will see that homepage preview. So we have preview for every page, article preview, about preview, content, and we are currently adding new feed to our homepage preview homepage. So we will go to the homepage preview, and it is a simple task. Just add a new prop here, because we are using the homepage template which we already updated the parts inside. So all we have to do is add a new field that says services description. So this variable, this value is being passed from the data that is sent to our admin. So if I save this and refresh our page again, you will notice that our field is also getting updated. Let's check that. Okay, so our services, and here we go. So our field is displaying correctly in the in the preview as well as in the front end. So that's it. That's how you create a new field into Netlify. It was, it is harder than uh, what you expect, but once you are done, once you have made your website, you will. It's a lot of pleasure to use Netlify and Gatsby because it's so fast, and I am really enjoying the speed and everything, every feature of this. So I don't need to be like, I don't need any third party plugins. I don't need WordPress. I don't need to buy hosting so for myself, because all you have to do is just buy a domain, create a static website, deploy it on Netlify, and link your domain. It's that easy. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.